Every week on Tuesday, the Oikos of the Olympians store resets in Odyssey and has one new legendary item from the Helix store, and also the new weekly quest becomes available. So in this video I want to discuss that and also look at some things that Ubisoft is working on for future updates and more. So if you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. If you did not know, you find the legendary store over here on the map and can reach it really early in the game, like early main story missions happen in this Pilgrim's Landing village. Sargon is the shopkeeper and he wants orichalcum ore for his goods. And you get that ore from the daily and weekly missions in the game you can find at the message boards or also in the world at random locations. So I would recommend that you totally do these daily quests every day that resets at 4 PM Central European time or 3 PM UK time. And with that knowledge you can of course calculate it to your region. We see also a timer in the store, and that is when the inventory resets, and that is again at Tuesday 4 PM Central European time. So you have 1 week to buy the things if you want it. This week he got the Power Loss Ship Cosmetic for 80 orichalcum, and that is an item that is 200 Helix credits in the store, and it looks fine, I guess. Like, got the blue sail, some pretty big eyes on the front, nothing really to get excited about in my opinion. He also sells some epic items that are different per player, but I don't really see a reason to buy that because you don't need the epic items at all and it would be a waste of your orichalcum. You can also spend that ore on the Olympian gifts, as I already mentioned in previous videos, that contain epic or legendary items. So for 20 orichalcum you can kind of test your luck at a Helix store item, although there's of course a higher chance that you get a useless epic item. As I noted in my Pegasus video, I opened 6 of these gifts and got 2 legendary items from the shop, so that is pretty nice, but I heard that others had less luck. So I'm totally curious, like, if you already opened some gifts or if you're going to open it after this video, let me know what you got in the comments down below because I'm really curious. You of course don't have to spend your orichalcum on these gifts, but can also wait for the next week for the new legendary item that hits the store. These can be items from the gear packs, like the Pegasus or the Spartan Renegade set. Hopefully the Pegasus mounts will be in the store one day as well. Someone on Reddit noted that he or she got the Pegasus mount from one of the Olympian gifts, so that is of course a really nice get. Sargon can also sell legendary weapons from the Helix store or ship cosmetics, as he does right now. If you, by the way, already bought the item from the Helix store that Sargon sells that week, then you will not see it in his inventory because you cannot get the legendary items from the Helix store as a duplicate. I want to keep you up to date on these weekly resets and also tell you if the weapon or gear piece that Sargon sells is any good. Of course, this week he has the ship cosmetic. So all I can say is, meh, I don't really like the ship cosmetic, so I would save my orichalcum this week, but it of course depends on your taste. So like I said, in order to get the orichalcum, you need to do the daily and weekly quest that you see thanks to the sort of Oikos icon next to it on the message board. Daily quests reward you with 10 orichalcum and can be done each day, while the weekly gives you 40 orichalcum and resets the same time as the store does. For this week's weekly quest, we need to kill 3 Spartan leaders all over Greece, 20 Spartan brutes, and 10 Strategoi Spartan enemies. So go to a fort in a region that is taken by Sparta and hunt for these enemies. You can of course easily spot the leader thanks to the icon on the map, and in the leader house you will also find these enemies easily, like protecting their leader. These Strategoi enemies are the big guys, by the way, with the shields. So just go and hunt these, or of course while playing you will encounter these enemies as well. But you have only a week to complete the quest, so do it as fast as possible to get your orichalcum ore. And with the daily quest of course the same, it resets every day, so do it before the day is over. One thing I see a lot of people asking is regarding a New Game Plus mode, if that will be included for the game, and the answer is yes. They announced that in the post-launch content trailer, only we don't know when it will be live. For Origins we had to wait 3.5 months after release, but for that game it was never planned to include it. Now with Ubisoft like already talking about it well before release, like I heard about this New Game Plus mode at Gamescom and already talked about it in another video as well. So I expect it to be maybe in December as well, around Christmas, but when we know more I will of course let you know here on the channel. Right now Ubisoft is working on update 1.03 that, as far as we know right now, will address some issues that players are running into, like legendary cultist items that were not given out, that 2 cultists cannot be reached because they are under the ground. 1 trophy and achievement, Aphrodite's Embrace, does not unlock for some players. Ubisoft is also working on that and will address that in the upcoming updates. And there are more small things coming. I put a link to the known issues thread in the description down below so you can check it out in more detail if you want. Ubisoft also noted on Twitter that controller customization is planned for a future update, so you have way more options to change the controls if you want. And in terms of content, we were promised in the post-launch content trailer that we would get a weekly mercenary or epic ship, but we're still waiting for that and we haven't heard anything about that yet, so not sure when they will arrive in the game. And other things were promised as well. If you, by the way, have questions or things that you want to see regarding the post-launch content support, please drop it in the comments as well, so I might be able to ask the developers when I get the chance. Of course, legacy outfits is one of the big things that a lot of people want to see, and I will totally ask them about it again when I get the chance. Subscribe for everything Odyssey if you haven't already. I will keep you up to date on everything that is going on in the game, and got a ton of tips and tricks on the channel and coming your way, and want to do weekly videos like the weekly story sets and more. Like this video to support channel, check out my recent video on the best bows in the game and also where you can find them, and I will of course speak to you next time. Goodbye.